Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are starting a new campaign of Marvel Multiverse. This game just came out in August, I believe it was. It's been in playtest for a while, so a lot of you may have played it or seen it played. But it's pretty new, and it's the first time we're playing it here on Lollygaggers. First time I've ever run it. I'm very excited for it. New campaign, so let's actually do some introductions this time. Normally, I jump right into it. Let me actually see where we are on the overlay. Okay, we're going to start with Kipser. Who are you playing tonight? And who is your favorite superhero? Outside of, doesn't have to be Marvel, doesn't have to be X-Men. Who is your favorite superhero and which X-Men are you playing tonight?
Hey, I am Kipser, and today I am playing the Laura rendition of Wolverine. And used to be X-23. As far as my favorite superhero, which is a very difficult question for me, and it will be an X-Men, and it won't be one. But when I was younger, it was definitely Nightcrawler was like number one, and then Rogue and Gambit. And then as we got older and we did the X Academy stuff, it was like Elixir and Dust and Mercury. And then these days I like my depressed Mexican, and which is Richter and Shatterstar.
I did say, who is your favorite superhero?
No, that's
not heroes.
S. Yep, plural. Yeah, we got it. We got all of them. I can go on.
Right.
I can add the DC
Continuing
ones.
in the top row, we are playing the music. The curtain is falling. Aaron, who are you playing tonight, and who is your favorite superhero?
Much like Kipser, I have real hard time answering this question because I break it out into different comic book publishers and different eras, Silver Age, Golden Age, Iron Age. But if I'm going to get right down to it, my favorite superhero is Lamont Cranston, a.k.a. The Shadow. Loved him as a kid, love him as an adult. Howard Chaykin's run on it from the 80s was perfect. And tonight, I am playing Kurt Wagner, a.k.a. the Nightcrawler.
Thank you for making the sacrifice of limiting to one hero.
I did my best.
Jeff, who are you playing tonight, and who is your favorite superhero?
Hello, I am playing Colossus because I can sort of do like Russian type accent. So I am doing Colossus, big metal man. You might be familiar with him. He's been in a few of the movies. I think he's in comics too. I don't know. I'll ask. I'm just teasing.
I don't know. I've never read him.
I'm in the troll position for this campaign, so it's great. I like it. Normally, this is Steven's position, so it's really interesting that I get to hop into it. Okay, yeah. So I'm playing Colossus, big, beefy dude, has a bunch of strength-based powers and stuff like that. So really looking forward to just smashing some things. My favorite superhero. It is actually kind of a difficult question because there's just so many freaking superheroes. But I would say if I had to pick one, it's actually Colonel Weird from the Black Hammer series. Yeah. I'm a huge that's like my favorite superhero comic. I know that I'm sorry that's not Marvel, but it's my favorite superhero comic. I'm also a big fan of the comic writer Jeff Lemire. But Colonel Weird is always my favorite of that group because he's enigmatic, weird, hence the name. Like it has like this old, almost like kind of Flash Gordon pseudo like retro sci-fi themes going on to it, and like it's weird, and I like the weird stuff a little bit more than the straightforward things.
Wait, Colonel Weird is weird?
Yeah, his name is Randall. Randall Weird.
Randall Weird.
I feel bad that he has the name Weird.
Yeah,
I feel like
he
you're
probably
in
got
for
teased
a
lot as a child.
Probably, but then he developed crazy superpowers and stuff like that, and can transcend dimensions and time and all that kind of thing. So I guess he wins out in the end. I don't know.
Curtain's falling on you too, Jeff. Come on. Melissa.
How dare you?
How dare you? Who are you playing tonight, and who's your favorite superhero? You have you're very good at choosing favorites, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to keep this super short and not do my homework. So I am playing Emma Frost. I have learned a little bit about Emma Frost. I've read a ridiculously long list of powers that Emma Frost can do. I think I have a sense of what they are. General concepts of mind screwery, I think, is sort of the general vibe. Got it, received. I I did not grow up on superhero stuff, comic book stuff, any of that kind of stuff. So I am going to go with the very non-answer answer and say my superhero is my mom.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No. All right, Jeff, roll the credits. We're ending the stream.
And we're done.
Oh dear.
Mama's girl. Okay. Emma Frost is actually the most powerful character in our group tonight because we are using the official stat blocks. She is a rank 5 character. Colossus is rank 4, and the other two are rank 3, I believe. Let's do a little bit of an overview of our version of X-Men. So any comic book fans, any hardcore comic book fans would know that the prime version of Earth in Marvel is Earth 616. And in this game, the main mechanic is D616 for that reason. But we, here on Lollygaggers, will be playing on Earth LOL, Earth Lollygaggers. If you've seen any of the movies or any of the animated series, then you know enough about X-Men that you can follow along with us. It's not going to require a deep dive, but if you do have questions, tag Kipser in the chat. She will be more than happy to answer. I'm stealing elements from everything, comics, movies, and then I'm ignoring anything that's not useful to me. For example, S.H.I.E.L.D., Avengers, Defenders, Spider Family. Those don't actually exist in our world. We are focused solely on mutants and mutant kind here. They are the only kind of superpowered people that you will find. As for basics of the system, you have 6 attributes in this game: melee, agility, resilience, vigilance, ego, and logic. And those of you who are paying attention will realize that the first letter of those spells out Marvel. Makes it easy to remember. They're basically D&D.
They did do that.
Yeah, they had to. How could they not? They have like D&D analogs to them, like melee is strength, agility, dexterity, so on. Ego is charisma, vigilance, wisdom, and logic is intelligence. They're pretty much one for one there. As I said, our basic mechanic is D616. What's going to happen is that for any sort of action we take, we're going to roll 3d6, add them together, add a modifier. If you equal or beat the target number, you succeed. If you roll a 1 on your Marvel die, if you have the official dice, it'll have a Marvel symbol on them. If you roll a 1 on the Marvel die, it becomes a fantastic result, and it counts as a 6. If that roll is a success, then it becomes a critical success, basically. And if it's a failure, it becomes a critical failure. Pretty simple there. Characters also have points of karma, which they can use to recover health or give themselves advantages on rolls. They earn extra karma by performing heroic deeds and actions, and their karma resets when they get a decent rest. The damage that happens when you make an attack is already factored into your attack. That Marvel die, whatever your result is there, is the base of your damage, and you multiply it by your damage multiplier, and then you add your attribute score. It's a little bit of math, but at least the number is already baked into the attack roll, so that helps. That covers most of the mechanics. Nice perks that... Oh, my internet connection is unstable. Am I
Yes.
back?
You're back.
Yes, you're
You're
back.
back. I think
Sorry
we should
about
just
that.
set a rule that whenever that happens, either Aaron or Kipser has to just randomly give us random facts about the
Riff.
Marvel universe.
So
Just boom, go.
Stephen just visited the
No, I'm
alternate
back already. I'm
dimension
back
known
already. We
as-
Next time. Did you catch the basic mechanics then? We good?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have audience dice. If you're nice enough to send us bits, which you don't have to, the players can cash those in for boosts. If they cash in 100 bits, they get an edge on their rolls, which gives them like an advantage. They get to reroll a single die. If they cash in 500 bits, they get an extra point of karma. If you send 300 bits, that comes to me, and I'm going to spend it on all sorts of nastiness, whatever I feel like, because I make the rules, so I get to decide how bad it can be, right? That's fair. Yeah, we're all about fairness here.
Fair.
All right. Well, then, let's go ahead and get started. Before we do, I have to get fully into costume here. There we go.
There we go.
My wife got so upset with me for spending $8 on these, but they're worth every penny.
I thought you shaved your head to be like Professor X.
Well, he has a beard, so I had to go with because Cyclops has a beard. Jeez, I can't read shit in these.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's why I didn't do
Says
an
the
eye patch
person
last
who
week.
wraps
for the
his eyes.
podcast. I can't read.
All right, that's good enough.
There you go.
We got the joke in. We open on the grounds of a large mansion. There is a line of black SUVs following this long horseshoe driveway, dropping off guests at the front doors before slowly making their way back down the drive. A bronze plaque by the door reads Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, established 1992, Mutatis Mutandis. The sun is shining. There are several large tents set up on a perfectly manicured lawn. Rows of chairs face a small stage with a central podium, and a crowd is mingling around a table of refreshments as folk begin to find their seats. Quite a few of these people are visually striking, some with strange body shapes, others seemingly composed of inorganic materials like stone or metal. Some of the more normal-looking guests tend to be staring at those who stand out, and this outwardly facade of a happy and celebratory occasion is marred by an undercurrent of tension and embarrassment, briefly glimpsed in the moments when smiles and pleasantries drop away. I had to put in pleasantries for long.
Heard it.
We pull back to see that outside the mansion's fences, a crowd of angry protesters are congregating, many carrying signs with anti-mutant slogans. The angry mob has moved to block the gates, not allowing any more cars to enter the grounds. They're working themselves into a frenzy as they slam on the hood and doors of another black SUV. We cut to a TV in the faculty lounge. It's set to the news covering a new law that was passed today by the U.S. Congress. Senator Robert Kelly gave us a statement after the vote. Today, we won a major victory in the fight to keep our children, families, and neighbors safe from the mutant menace, but we are far from finished. The Mutant Affairs Control Act is the foundation that all future laws will be built upon. We pan over to see a group of teachers playing a friendly game of poker. They are, of course, no ordinary teachers. We're going to start with our art director, Colossus. How are you playing this game of poker? Are you playing it straightforward? Are you trying to be cunning? You are a mutant, so powers are on the table here.
Well, no, I will play it forthright and honest, of course. And if I lose, then I lose, and I will try again. And if I win, well then, hooray for me, and I will encourage the others to continue trying, and I will take their money and things from them when that happens.
All right, then I want a challenging logic check from you. So that is going to be, you are rank 4, so that'll be a 14 is what you need.
Okay. And I have a +1 in non-combat checks for logic. I am art, not math. However, I did do... that's a 12, so that's a fail. But this is a fail.
Okay. We continue around the table to see Wolverine. You are looking over at Colossus, and he forgot to change out of his steel shell, and you can see a reflection of his cards. And you know he's playing properly, but you do have a little bit of a hint. How are you playing this game?
I am 100% taking advantage of Colossus's shiny body as I will raise the bid, and she'll slide another $15 forward.
Okay, let's call this an ego then, as you're trying to bluff your way through, or at least take advantage personality-wise.
Okay, that is my worst trait. What is the...
We're going to say challenging for that as well, so it's going to be a 13 for you.
A 13. Ooh. 352 for an 11.
Okay, so that is also a failure. Emma Frost, we come to you, and you are a telepath, and you try not to read people's minds, but in a game like this, you can't help but, feel some emotions and understand when people are getting excited or anticipating certain moves. You're getting a good sense of what's happening with your fellow players here. How are you trying to play the game?
I would say that she would play it straight until she loses a few times, and then she would, just to keep things interesting, try to figure out what's going on.
Let's call that a vigilance then. We're going to go challenging as well, so that's going to be a 15 for you. As you're trying to wait for the correct moment to make your strike.
So I rolled a 1 on my what would be a Marvel die.
So that means it's a fantastic result, and it counts as a 6.
Okay, so then I've got 6, 12, 15, 21.
21, and it's a fantastic result. So, Nightcrawler, we go to you. Emma Frost has just gone all in after Colossus and Wolverine seem to have been playing it rather straightforward. How are you playing this game?
So, Kurt he's folded back in the chair. He's very, very flexible, and he's got his legs up, and they're crossed at the ankles, and he's holding his cards with his feet. And his tail is coming up the other side, and he's got his drink in his tail. He's looking at his cards, realizing that he has not got the winning hand, not even close to having the winning hand. So, my friends, I do believe that I will be folding this round. Clearly, Miss Frost has the winning hand, and he will teleport he'll wave his hands over his chips and teleport them over to Emma's side. I believe I will say that Miss Frost is definitely going to be the champion here. Duh.
All right, if you're folding, you don't need a roll. Emma Frost, you have a stack of chips in front of you. Colossus and Wolverine, are you calling her all in?
Wolverine, seeing Nightcrawler kind of relax and do this, will lean forward more aggressively. Some of her claws kind of come out of her hand and before pulling back in again. And she'll try to pull some extra cards and swap them out from the sleeves of her costume or sports clothes.
Let's call that agility, and it's going to be more than challenging. We'll call it challenging, but I'm actually going to give you trouble because you failed the last roll.
Fair enough. All right. Ooh, uh-oh. So that is, I re-rolled for trouble, but the first roll was still the lowest, which is 222.
All right. Colossus, you may be showing the reflection in your cards, but you're also seeing some cards come out of her sleeves right now.
Well, what is this? No. We are playing fair. This is friendly game. There is no cheating. You do not cheat.
These are my cards.
That they can be your cards, but you clearly are cheating. Emma, please. You saw this, yes? Cheating.
Fine, here. And she'll push all her chips across to Emma.
Oh, let's not be so hasty. It's possible I could win as well. I like, I will call all in.
All right. Wolverine and Nightcrawler are out. Emma and Colossus are both all in. Emma, I need a routine vigilance check from you. So that's going to be a 13 target number.
That is a 7 plus 6 is 13.
13. All right, you just got it. You're about to reveal your cards. When your telepathy is going off, you have a sort of danger sense. There's someone nearby that's trying to cause you harm. You focus on it a little bit, and then you realize that they're not trying to cause you harm, but rather embarrassment. There is a group of people right outside the hallway right now, and you catch this right before there's a loud banging on the hallway and a lot of laughter that fades away.
What is this? This senior prank nonsense. What?
All right.
Of
we'll
course,
let
they
the
must. They're
children
going to
out.
blow off some steam, of course.
Exactly. Exactly, Kurt. They are young. We were young once, and so
Yeah.
this is how. Yes, well, probably
They
not Laura.
can run 5 times around the building before graduation.
Ah, Laura, you were never perhaps a child, but I remember my days in the Munich circus and the pranks we would play on one another. Ah, you should let the children be children soon enough. With the Senator Kelly and his nonsense, there will be no place for mutants to be children.
Yeah. All right. This time, Kurt, we need to take Emma out anyway.
Ah,
Is anyone going to answer the door, or are you going to leave it?
Oh,
Emma was answering the door.
Okay. Emma, you pull open the door, and a massive pile of plastic balls from a ball pit just start pouring in through the door. As you realize that these kids have taped up tarps on either side and just filled it with all sorts of balls in an attempt to prank you guys on their graduation day.
Yep, they're running around the building now.
Nightcrawler just teleports to the ceiling and clings to it, looking down at it. This
They
is a
really
very
don't get
good
that far.
prank.
They just cover like 5-10 feet in front of the door before they empty out and just start rolling away. But
Of all the things. And Emma kind of shrugs.
as this is happening, the channel in the news changes. The new program starts, and it is a pundit named Benedict Ryan, well known for being anti-mutant. And he immediately starts ranting and raving. Why is it that you and I need to pass tests and pay insurance to be able to drive a car, yet these mutants can freely walk around with a nuclear warhead in their chest?
They're in words I can't say.
He continues ranting and raving until you're interrupted by something else yet again. Professor Xavier's voice in all of your heads telepathically. To me, my X-Men, we have a problem.
You hear a bamf. And Nightcrawler is already there.
Such cheater. Such cheater. And so Colossus will get up and just like smash the balls as he walks past, like every single one. Crunch, 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 crunch.
Laura
Before-
will jump up on Colossus's shoulder and just catch a ride.
You have your own legs, you know.
This is just easier.
For you,
Kipser
maybe.
is really gunning for the fastball special.
I know.
It's a whole thing.
I throw her
It is
the
all.
opposite direction. We call this the Hail Mary.
Oh no.
The faculty begin exiting this lounge, some of you faster than others. We'll never find out whether Colossus or Emma were going to win that hand as you make your way to Professor Xavier, who is outside, but he's a ways away from the rest of the crowd. He seems to have purposefully distanced himself to get away, making sure that no one would want to talk to him for any small talk or anything like that, waiting for you to arrive. Nightcrawler, you're there first, and he begins telling you the information as the rest of you begin to fill in behind. The protesters outside, I'm sensing something. Emma, you may sense this too. Their hatred, it's beginning to boil over. They're working themselves into a frenzy. There's more than just a protest happening. There's something malicious about this. They intend to do us harm. Please go try to break them up. Try to encourage them to leave. We can't afford any bad publicity right now, so be gentle with them.
Professor, do you sense there is a someone organizing this, or is it just a angry rabble?
It started as an angry rabble, but I do feel a sense of purpose to some of them. I believe there may be an ulterior motive at work.
Do you think it would be a good idea for us, some of us, to go there? It might just incense them further.
We cannot wait for the authorities to arrive. I trust you to handle this, Peter.
Of course.
We will do our best to not ruin graduation day. Let all of these idiots ruin graduation day.
Might ruin a few pants.
And remember, with the laws that are being passed, the publicity happening right now, we cannot afford to make headlines.
Colossus looks at Laura.
Look, if they're peeing their pants while they're running away, are they going to talk about it online?
Perhaps.
They will, indeed.
Yes.
They will call us out as horrible thugs who use our powers against them. And then we will have sentinels on our door. We must speak to them as humans to humans. And
All right.
convince them to see a greater path.
I agree.
I will try to see if I can ascertain who among them is in charge or trying to whip them up into a furor.
Yeah, I
Very
believe
good
you
plan.
have a power for that that we can tap into. Mind reading, but it requires a telepathic link first, I believe. Let me pull up your character sheet because that'll help me remember.
Yes, most of those things require first a telepathic link to be created.
All right. If they do not wish to speak with you, they can automatically tune them out. To force it, you make a logic check versus their vigilance. And I'm going to give you trouble on this because you're trying to read minds of lots of people here. So you're going to have to try and force a few connections before you can really figure out someone who would know who the leader is. So trouble means that you roll your dice and then the highest die is re-roll.
Okay, so telepathic link does not directly say what skill.
It's
Logic.
Okay.
And it's going to be towards their vigilance, which is an 11.
So that is a 6, 11, 16, 24.
24 even with the reroll?
Oh, sorry. I didn't listen to that. Sorry. What am I re-rolling? Sorry.
The highest number you rolled, you'll re-roll.
The highest die is rerolled to be lower.
Okay. It's going to be because you add your ability score to what you rolled, right?
Yes, you do add the score.
Even with a reroll, it's going to be at minimum 19. And it's not because I rolled a 6 and then re-rolled a 6, so it's a 24 again.
Hey.
Jeff, when are we getting dice cams? we said we were going to do that, right?
It is on the schedule. Yes. Yes. Soon. Specifically Melissa Kim. And Ashley too. Too many Gandalfs.
All right, Emma. You're going through and you're beginning to make connections with these people. You're feeling a lot of hatred and anger. The people here protesting are some of the most proactive anti-mutant people on the planet. They're going out of their way to ruin basically high school graduation because of who you are, who you were born as. So it's overwhelming to feel this emotion that has nothing to do with who you are as a person, just what you were born. But after making a few connections, you do start to get a sense of an ulterior motive here. You realize that some of these people here are actually members of a group called Purity, and they're not in uniform or anything like that. They seem to be purposefully keeping away from each other, trying not to disclose who they are. They're trying to blend into the mob, but they do have some sort of ulterior motive happening here. You get a better sense of a plan that they are really just trying to cause chaos here at the gate right now. Which, as you guys get closer to the gate, you're going to see that this SUV is trying to get through, but there is a human wall, and the gate will not open until the car is close enough to let it through as a security measure. these protesters are slamming on the hood of this SUV, you know that the people inside are just parents or relatives or other mutants trying to attend the graduation. And they are trapped in this SUV right now.
They just want the chaos. It's unity. I don't know if we can find out more about their organizing, but that's
Purity.
who they are. Purity, sorry.
Well, we need to get those poor people inside. If you can scatter them, I can try to make sure to escort the vehicle inside. I could give speech, but I don't know if that is the best use of my talents.
Sorry, Peter. Probably it's best if you escort them in instead of trying to talk to them.
I have been practicing, though.
I'm glad we can all sit around and hear it after the graduation.
Can tell you about the St. Crispin's Day speech. I've been practicing it. Yes.
Yeah. Let's definitely all listen to that later. And Laura will spend her time trying to sort of do a vigilance check to look for people that might try to sneak in or sneak past them while they are opening the gates to allow this this bus to come through.
Okay. Let's go ahead and call this challenging as well. So that'll be DC 13 for you.
Okay, and just FYI, I do have heightened senses, which a character can sense things roughly twice as far away as normal, and they have an edge on vigilance checks to perceive things, and enemies have trouble on checks when they're trying to sneak past the character.
Okay. Go ahead and take your edge.
I will.
So the edge and the trouble cancel one another out.
Yes.
No, it would happen if I was rolling like agility to stealth past her. I would have trouble, and that would be against her target number. Since she's the one rolling, she gets the edge.
Yeah, I just thought you had told her that she had trouble on her vigilance check, but maybe I misunderstood.
Did I tell her? I thought I said challenging. Maybe I did say trouble.
I don't know. I might have misunderstood.
I think I just said challenging. Well, go ahead and get the edge.
I can pause the stream, and then I can go back and look if you want.
I'm questioning myself now. My memory's not that good.
I rolled a 1 twice, so it doesn't matter. It's a moot point. I'm going to switch my dice out again. It would be.
Did you roll a 1 on your Marvel dice? Because that would be good.
No, I would have been nicer on that one. So I rolled a total of 8 plus my vigilance, which is a +2 for a 10. So I'm still not beating it.
Okay. You're catching a lot of smells. The smell of gasoline, the smell of sweat and saliva from people yelling and spitting hatred. Mm-hmm. You also smell the fresh cut grass. It's a strange mixture of things that should make you happy and then things that are just depressing. Unfortunately, you don't see... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Unfortunately, you don't see anyone trying to sneak past or anything like that. So far, they seem to be entirely focused on the SUV. It is a little difficult because these walls, they're brick walls and they have a lot of ivy growing. So there's plenty of like ways to hide your form. But for the most part, you don't see anyone out in the open sneaking past. You do feel confident about that. What were you going to say, Kurt?
So Kurt's wearing a black suit. He's got his cross out. He's very religious. So he's going to go up to the gate and try to convince the people that are in front of the gate and hammering on the car to let the frightened parents through. He understands their anger and frustration and fear, but they shouldn't be making others feel terrified.
All right, this is going to be an ego check. I'm going to say challenging, and I'm going to give you trouble for your extreme appearance as well.
It's okay, because I also have glibness, presence, and public speaking, so I get a edge on that, so those two cancel out.
Sounds good.
Well, 6, 5, and a 3, that's 14. My ego's +3, 17. 17.
So the first people that you see aren't the people actually on the SUV, but there is a father with a young daughter on his shoulders, and she is yelling with the chants the same as everyone else. And she turns and she sees you, and she hears what you're saying, and she says, "Go away, dirty mutie! We don't want your kind here." However, the father, who initially was cheering her on and happy to have her there, hears your words, and while he does not agree with you, he does seem a little taken aback, as if he's fearful of you, especially with his daughter present. And he begins to back away, clearing an opening for this SUV. And people start following suit. They see someone start to move away, and the rest of them begin to follow. It doesn't really lessen the emotion or the mob at all, but they are backing away, knowing that these people aren't necessarily violent people.
Colossus succeeded, I think, with a 16, because his rank is 4, so it would be difficulty target number of 14. 16 success.
I got a 1 on my Marvel dice.
Me too.
Fantastic.
So that's a 12, 15, 17, and a fantastic success.
So I got a 1 on my Marvel dice. I also rolled a 6 and a 5. So I also have the 12, 15 plus my vigilance for 19.
All right.
Also rolled a 1 on my Marvel die for a total of 17.
Nice. Go X-Men.
Okay.
Go team.
I just say
Everybody is doing
passed.
so. Everybody's equally as good.
I can see it as well. I see the thing that we're about to hear as well.
Jess, can I just say thank you for not cheating? You know,
You're
like
welcome,
the two
my
of us,
friend.
we're in this together now.
I hear
We've got a bond forged by
3
fire.
of our
as
team
we're
are
surrounded.
such strong members of the X community.
strong. I could literally break most of you in half. I'm looking
Yeah,
at
I'm
my
the not
strength.
strong one. Me and my 2 melee.
Well, technically, you can turn into diamond and be very hard to.
All right, so because you got so many fantastic results on this, I'm going to give you guys a chance to prevent what's about to happen here. Colossus, you're going to see this like normal. You're tall enough. You're standing over people's heads. You see that as most of the crowd is backing away to let this car through, there's one person. You see a look of aggression and determination in his eyes as he is pushing through the crowd toward the SUV. You've been in enough fights, you know that this guy wants to hurt someone.
Okay.
With
I know you're going to explain. I just want to say what I'm going to do before you give the fancy stuff. So all the people who cheated. So I am going to go. So Colossus is going to race to the gate to kind of try to escort, and if necessary, like be there to protect the SUV. So he's rushing towards and trying to open the gate and kind of get the SUV inside before the extra information we're about to give.
Perfect. You're all going to get a chance to respond, but you're headed towards the gate, rushing to protect people. Wolverine, with your fantastic result, you weren't necessarily looking this direction. You were watching the perimeter. You did catch a whiff of something. I said you could smell the gasoline from the car. You also catch a whiff of kerosene. Something that you wouldn't have expected from this SUV. It's still that same sort of fumes, and it's just lightly in the air, but you know that shouldn't be there right now.
I send or presume that Emma is listening to me, and I send her kerosene to tell to everybody else, so sound shouldn't be a problem.
We'll cut to Nightcrawler there. You were in the front of this crowd, the ones talking to them. Colossus is rushing right past you right now, and you catch a glimpse of this guy as well, and you see in his hand is a bottle and a rag stuffed into the bottle. And Emma, with your fantastic result, I'm going to say that you got as you were connecting your mind with all of these people, you connect with his mind as well, and you get a vision of him ready to throw this Molotov cocktail into the crowd at the SUV. Colossus is rushing forward to try and deflect or protect as much as possible. What are the rest of you doing?
Nightcrawler would use the blink defense power as soon as he throws the Molotov cocktail to intercept it and teleport it away to a safe location.
Okay. Emma, Wolverine, what's your plan?
Go first.
Emma's plan was to try to do a mirage. So try to make this person think that like the car is already inside. So thinking that like his target is gone. So kind of trying to give a mirage that basically makes it seem like the doors are closed and the car is gone and like he missed his opportunity.
Okay. And Wolverine.
She is going to run up the front of the SUV, stand on the top, and if this Molotov is thrown in their direction, if they can, she would like to try to catch it before it breaks against it if he does get through the mirage. So as a sort of using her body as a defense against the fire for the truck.
So let's go through this. And those of you who are using abilities, go ahead and spend the focus on that. Emma, I think you're spending focus. I think Nightcrawler, you are as
Yes.
well.
Mhm.
Let's go through this in the order of Emma first. You're trying to implant a memory in him or change his perception, basically. So go ahead and make your attack for that to see if he changes the direction he's about to throw this Molotov.
Okay. And so is that again?
That would be ego, I believe. It might be logic.
It's logic, I think.
Is it logic?
All
Where does it-
telepathy is logic.
All telepathy is logic. That's why she's got an 8 in logic.
Uh-oh.
The risk of
Really
no
good
one
or really
believing.
bad? Yeah.
Oh no, the one is on. Yeah. Either way, 2 6s and a 1, but not a 1 on the. So it's.
I mean, you could borrow one of the
21.
chat 100s and re-roll that to see if you get another 6.
All right. You successfully succeed at changing his perception of where the car is. And he begins, he's still intent on throwing this, but he throws it completely the wrong direction. However, there's still a large crowd and it's still a danger for everyone around. Nightcrawler, you are doing your blink defense. I believe this is an agility check for you.
No, it's an ego. It's an ego check against
Yes.
the agility. So he's got to throw it. So he does his agility check to throw it, and then that's my target number to beat with my ego check with edge.
All right, let me do some math here real quick. All right, your DC is 11.
Okay.
TN is
So
11.
for people out there, Nightcrawler's ego is 3. So, and it's with edge already. So I got a 6 and a 4 and a 2 on my Marvel die. So I'm going to re-roll my Marvel die. See if we can't. And I got a 4. So I didn't get but I got a 14, 17 in total. So it succeeds. So basically I teleport in front of it. As it's coming at me, I teleport with the projectile and leave it behind someplace safe as I immediately pop back to my original spot.
All right. You
So like into the pool, into Xavier's pool or something.
that exactly happens. The cocktail goes out. You pop back to the crowd. Colossus, you're moving towards the crowd. Wolverine, you as well. And you see that he is not the only member of Purity that is moving forward here. The rest did not have cocktails they weren't going to throw. However, seeing their friend completely miss, they were ready on standby. And they're both coming up and they pull out wooden clubs like 2x4s that they're ready to just swipe at both of you. What are you two doing?
Too bad for the publicity. We're gonna punch some faces in.
So these are just like humans, right? Just human protesters.
Normal humans.
I'm not
with
using my
2x4s
claws,
against
I'm just
Colossus
gonna
and
punch
Wolverine,
them.
Yes.
He's just going to grab the club and be like, no, bad human.
All right. Melee for both of you then. And you need to hit a 13.
Well, guess who this time got the one on the Marvel guy? This guy right
Yay.
here.
Melissa must have gotten the one on the Marvel again. That's the only reality I'll accept.
16 in total.
I
Actually, no, wait, that's not right. 21 in total. That's right, because the Marvel die counts as a 6.
Yeah, it
I
counts as
got
6.
exactly 13 because I rolled.
Okay.
Yeah, not great on my dice, but I have a +7.
Colossus, this guy comes up, and this 2x4, you see that it was actually the handle of a sign before, and he ripped the sign off. You can see that there's still a couple nails sticking out of it. Nothing you need to worry about, obviously.
No.
He swings towards you, and you grab it tight. You can crush it with one hand. What did you say you were saying?
No, bad human, go away. We are peaceful and
filthy
trying
mutant.
to celebrate.
You don't deserve to be here. This is our land. We were here first.
He blinks. Really? That's what you're going to say? You need schooling as much as the people who are graduating, so you can learn your proper history and also a bit of how to behave amongst people. Now, go away. We do not want any violence.
And then he just kind of like tries to pluck it out of his hand.
As he's very passive, Wolverine just shoots by him, haymaker, right into the next guy's face.
All right,
Poor
you got a
passive
success.
Colossus. Here we go.
What is your damage then? It's the Marvel die times your multiplier plus your score.
Marvel die times my multiplier plus my score. All right, so my melee is a 6. So that would be 3 times 6 for 18. Plus something else, wasn't it?
Plus your score.
No, what was your Marvel die?
Oh, it's a 3.
Okay,
So
What's
so
your
your
multiplier?
melee is 6. What's your
6.
multiplier? 6?
oh, my melee. Okay, so my melee is. Oh God. Okay, so it's 3 times 4 plus 6 essentially. So sorry, I did do
Okay,
it
so
the wrong way.
18
around.
anyways.
18. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so I'm okay.
You got there
I still
just
have the right
wrong way.
number, but wrong way.
You deck this guy. You dislocate his jaw easily. He's not
Sorry,
killed.
Colossus.
He's got more health than that. But you have put him out of the fight, and the whole crowd begins to turn on you all. Seeing this violence, they're not rushing towards you. Like I said, these are for the most part normal people, but they are just cameras pop out. This 2006, so these phone cameras are as blurry as can be, and someone has a tape recorder, and there are a couple reporters in the back that are reporting on the situation as well. Cameras all immediately begin turning towards Wolverine here, and this guy gets up and he begins trying to yell at you, but his jaw is dislocated, so you can't make sense of what he's saying. He's got blood running from his nose and mouth. Cameras are loving it. The people start jeering even more. What are you guys doing?
Liebchen.
Get out of here before the claws come out if you really want to see a scary mutant.
Give me an ego check there. We'll give you edge for what you just did. And we're going to say it's routine. So it's going to be 8 plus your rank.
Okay. Yeah. So that is I get to reroll. Okay, so that is 11. My ego is +0. So 11. And you said +8 though?
8 plus your rank.
You
so
needed
11.
an
Oh.
11 total.
Okay, so
Plus
I have
your rank,
11. Yeah.
Okay, you got it. The crowd, they're still jeering. People are like rushing to help this guy and pull him back away from you. A couple of them put themselves in front of him and you. They're not looking to fight, obviously, but they are trying to protect one of their own. The crowd parts enough. This SUV begins moving through the gate. You're all able to back away with it. SUV begins slowly rolling towards the front doors, and the gate closes behind you. The crowd presses forward once more. You've mostly helped.
Once
I
again,
mean, the
you have
SUV
a
is
lot-
inside, so we completed half of what we were asked to do.
We will now at the gate be on the news across the. We will now be a meme for Senator Kelly. Again, we have shown the worst of what we can be.
You-
I mean, sometimes we just gotta bring justice. You can't
you-
let them do what they want.
Do
all the
you
time.
also approve of striking small, furry, helpless creatures and children? Because your strength compared to that one's strength is equivalent. Do not strike down, strike up.
Yes,
Piotr is
Colossus.
right.
All right, all right.
Nightcrawler. Here, clink, 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 as Nightcrawler pats Colossus on the shoulder. He's
Still nod of approval.
I'm going to say everyone but Wolverine can take a point of karma for your heroic actions there. Preventing the Molotov cocktail, not breaking a guy's jaw counts as heroic when you had the chance to.
A little bit. A little bit.
You make your way back to the grounds. The crowd by the refreshments begins to slowly disperse as they begin making their way towards the seats. You can tell it's getting closer to time for the ceremony to begin. You all have to go back into the mansion to change into your gowns. Jeff, you know more about what an academic gown would be for this than I would. What does it look like for Colossus, art teacher? What would he have to wear?
I think basically what he has done is he has taken about 4, perhaps 5 gowns, cut them, restitched them to properly fit. And still, they don't quite go far enough down. He's got the width around, but so you can see basically everything from just above his thigh down to his foot.
He is a big boy, over 7 feet
Yeah.
tall.
He is very large.
And is it just students that go nude under there so that they can streak at the end, or does Colossus do that too?
Okay, first of all, no one goes nude. That is you get in a lot of trouble. But most faculty, and I can tell you for certainty, we wear like shorts and flip-flops and stuff, and usually we have phones nearby to do something interesting while everything's going on.
So Colossus is in his flip-flops in a gown that's too short for him, so it looks like a little bathrobe.
Oh god.
Making his way towards. Everyone makes their way to the stage. The ceremony is getting ready to begin. The music begins playing. The students start filing in and taking their seats. After long, excruciating boredom, like every graduation is, Xavier begins to make his way up the stage, up the wheelchair ramp next to the podium, and he begins to give his speech. I could not be more proud to offer my congratulations to the Xavier class of 2006. Students, you have long struggled in the face of adversity and hatred, but now you begin the next evolution of your lives. I wish I could promise you that it will be easier, but the events of today would prove that is a lie. It is important to remember that you are not alone. The doors to this school will always be open to you, and you may call it a home for as long as you wish. And I offer you this quote to reflect upon. You may not be able to alter reality, but you can alter your attitude towards it. And this, paradoxically, alters reality. I am a mutant, and I am proud to be one, and I am proud to count you among my kind. Someday, I hope that the world, and he begins to trail off here as a shadow appears over the crowd. And then another shadow, and another shadow, as you look up and you see teleporting into the sky above you are flying sentinels. One, and then another, and another, and another, and it continues. And there is a fleet of them above you, 20, 30 of them maybe. These sentinels are 20 to 25 feet tall. They're Mark IIs, exactly as you have fought countless times before. They look to be a little modified. They look to be brand new, actually. And they begin to drop down onto the grass around you. Not all of them. Some are flying in a circular pattern. The crowd mutants, the students, some of them look like they're ready to fight. Others look ready to run. A lot of these people are just parents that don't have any powers whatsoever. They are panicked. What are you all doing?
Laura's definitely going to yell into the crowd of parents and mutants, get out of here, run. We will hold them as long as we can. There is a passage in the basement, if that exists in this universe. Cool.
Sure does. Let's say it.
All right. Go down to the basement. Students, guide your parents.
Xavier echoes that, calling on Cyclops to begin evacuating people as the first Sentinel lands with a thud that shakes the ground around you, and you hear that robotic voice call out. The face doesn't move. There's a speaker from somewhere. Attention, mutants. You are all under arrest by the authority of the Mutant Affair Control Act. Do not resist. And he raises his hands with energy beams glowing.
Laura would attack.
How's everyone else feel about this?
Well, I think Colossus, assuming that Laura is still next to him, or possibly
Yes.
will look at you. Well, like I said, strike up.
And then he wants to grab Wolverine and hurl her up at the bed.
And Wolverine will shink 2 claws out of her hands and one for each foot, and get ready to be launched.
All right. Let's go ahead and roll initiative then. That's going to be 3d6 plus your initiative modifier. And if you roll a fantastic, that means you get a bonus round.
Real quick, did we ever decide before what we were doing for our team? If we were
We did
applying
not.
it to...
I suppose
I'm going to call it
offensive
offense.
would
Offense?
probably be
Okay.
a good one, yeah.
So we have to spend focus. Each have to spend focus based 10 focus each to re-roll 1 dice on any attack in 1 round during a battle that we choose.
Okay, so we all get
if
to
you
do
wanna-
that once.
If you want to participate in it, just once in a battle, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Colossus, what's your initiative?
17.
17.
Sorry, what were we rolling again for initiative?
3d6 plus your initiative modifier.
There's
Got it,
an
thank you.
initiative next
Got
to
it.
your... Okay.
Nightcrawler, what's your initiative?
14.
14. All right. Wolverine?
I only got 13. I thought I did well.
13. And Emma?
12.
12. All right. Let me roll some initiative real quick here.
So while that's happening, me being the person that doesn't know things, would any of the power control stuff that Emma has work against these sentinels? Or is that like not a thing that would like work?
Rules as written, there's nothing to say telepathy doesn't work against these sentinels. They don't have any tags or anything like that that would stop them. So I'm going to say go ahead and do it.
Okay.
There's no actual rules or mechanics for like robots. And it says the telepathy would work. So I'm going to go with it.
Okay.
We have our order set. Colossus, you are up first. If you guys want to use the group maneuver, it has to happen while you're all close together.
Mhm.
So that would be probably now before you split up. And if you want to spend 10 focus, you can do that. Or you can choose to save it. It just has to happen at the top of a round.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting. And if as part of the group, if you don't want to be included in it, you don't have to pay into it. You can voluntarily not be part of it, but you don't get the benefit. So,
Okay. So do we want to do that at the beginning?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that's a
probably a good
smart
idea.
choice right about now.
Okay.
Okay.
So 10 focus from all of us, right?
Yep.
Yes. And Colossus, I know you said you were going to do a fastball special. That is actually
yes.
a reaction for you. So we'll do that before your actual action happens.
Okay.
So
it's I think it's actually a reaction for Wolverine.
it is.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that works out perfect, anyways. So you need to succeed at an agility check, Colossus.
Well, that is shame. It is not melee, but I shall do what I can.
You can take audience
So,
bits. If
I
you
have 3 reactions per round, so I'm going to spend one of my reactions to help a teammate. So I'm going to teleport in front of the sentinel real fast and then teleport out to draw its attention and open it up.
Nice.
So that gives you
Actually,
an edge.
before you do that, help a teammate requires an ally to fail a check.
Okay.
So you don't have
Well,
to
yeah.
take that reaction unless he fails.
Okay. Good point. Thank you.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 12.
Is this now? We're in melee, or excuse me, we're in combat. Actually, it's the same number anyway. It doesn't matter. 21 is the total.
Nice.
21.
Name.
And I think this would count as an attack. So you could reroll if you want to marvel. You get that reroll for the offensive
Sure.
maneuver.
I did not. I
Okay.
did not get a fantastic. Okay.
So now Wolverine is using her reaction, and she
Mhm.
needs to make a close attack at the enemy.
Yes. All right. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Okay, so I've got 4, 4, 5. That is with my melee. 8, 13. Oh, time to pull the calculator out. 4 plus 6, 58. And then on success, so I hit, does a 13 hit?
13 hits, yes.
Okay. Then it would be my melee times 4 plus 6. And then I do double damage because I did not get a fantastic.
It's your Marvel die.
I did not get a
multiplied.
fantastic.
So that's what you
right.
multiply, not your
Yeah.
melee.
Sorry. Yeah. You are correct.
And Colossus, I'm going to give you another action after this because you guys said you were doing that to initiate combat. So we'll say that was like a surprise rounder.
Okay.
That is 44.
44. That is a huge hit as
That goes
Wolverine
For the neck.
goes right through and your claws dig into the side and you use that momentum to swing all the way around the neck. The head begins to pull away. You see the gears and the wires underneath. This thing is still very much in fighting shape, but you have done a huge blow to it. Colossus.
So after doing that, I think Colossus will just run up and he'll like rip off the graduation gown. Oh, enough of this. And then he will be like, time to smash!
And he'll try to use his literal smash ability.
Okay. Are you going at the same one that Wolverine went, or are you going for your own?
Colossus is smart. He will team up. We'll focus fire. We are a trained squad, a trained team. So that is what he will do. Nice try.
All right.
This also is going to cost some focus for me, but basically what I do is I make a close attack with an edge. For this attack, I get to add +1 to my melee damage bonus for every 2 points of focus I spend. On a success, an affected target takes that total damage. On a fantastic success, they take double that total damage and are stunned for the round. So let me start with rolling with edge. Okay, well, good news. Good news. Fantastic. Good way to start. However, I do
Yay.
have a 1 on one of them, so I will go ahead and re-roll. It's 4 in the fantastic. Okay, so 13 plus 7 is 20 to hit.
That's plenty to hit.
And then I'm going to spend, let's say, 40 focus.
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy.
Whoa.
So I add +1 to the character's melee damage bonus for every 2 points of focus they spend. So that's 20 extra damage. On a fantastic success with this, which this is, they take double that total damage. So that's 40 plus my normal damage, which is what, like my Marvel die times 7. So 40 plus 42, so 82 points of damage. Did I do that? Did I do that right?
My only thought is it plus to the damage or is it plus to the multiplier? Because that would be very different.
It's focused just plus to the damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just going to read
Okay,
it verbatim if you want. Make a close attack.
I just pulled it up, so yeah, you're
Okay.
right.
All right, so
Thank
I think 82 is the number because I rolled a Marvel on
Describe
my...
how you're destroying the Sentinel.
So I'm just ripping off the gown, and I'm just...
And I kind of do like a leap.
And then I'm just going to right through like the knee of the thigh, just smash through, and just try to knock it down, smashing into the grass.
It slowly leans back until it collapses onto the ground, and you're on top of it, shredding it even more. Wolverine is going for the neck even more. The power inside dies down, the lights start shutting off, but then you hear a strange buzzing. Wolverine, as you're cutting through the neck, you start ripping open and you find a cavity in there. And out of that begins swarming hundreds, maybe thousands of small sentinels, but they're the size of like hornets. And they begin swarming out and immediately begin dissipating, spreading throughout this crowd, targeting all sorts of, not just you, but everyone around and nearby.
Uh-oh, we opened the can.
And it is Sentinels' turns. I'm going clockwise with these Sentinels. I'm doing them in 3 groups. So one of them is destroyed because you got one from the first group. There's one more Sentinel, and he is raising up a hand, and that light is charging, and then a beam blasts out, and we're going to say it's going at Nightcrawler.
I use a reaction to blink, which gives it trouble on its attack.
All right.
Actually,
Yep.
I just blink behind it. So since I'm no longer in its line of sight, the attack automatically fails.
Okay, perfect. I rolled horribly anyways. So the hand goes up, and you blink either on the arm or behind it.
Back behind it, like behind on its shoulders.
And that actually takes us to your turn as well. So go ahead. What are you doing when you're on its shoulders?
Okay, so since I'm actually here already, for my movement action, I'm going to use a blink barrage. So the blink, what I did on my reaction there, didn't cost me any focus. A blink barrage cost me 5 focus for my move. And that's just rapid teleporting. And then in the midst of it, I am going to stop at a place that I know the Sentinels are vulnerable, where there's some wiring up, where the head meets, like where the cervical spine would be on a human being. And I'm going to use my chain strikes, which cost 5 focus, to try to tear some of the cables out as I teleport past. So that's just it's a melee strike with edge.
Melee defense is 12 on these guys.
Okay. Nightcrawler's melee is 2. I got a 1 on the Marvel dice, but other crap. So, 12, 14. 14.
14 is a hit. What's your damage?
Okay, so 14 is a hit, and it was a fantastic success. So I get to do another strike for free after this, but I'll roll the damage first. My damage.
You also get double damage on that? I think you get
double
both
damage.
that and the extra.
Yeah. So my melee multiplier is, or my melee is 2. My rank is 3. My Marvel dice counts as a 6. So that's 18, 20, 40 points of damage.
40 points of damage. All right, go ahead and make your next attack too. That is a huge hit. You start ripping out these cords. Sparks are flying everywhere. You hear its robotic voice begin to falter as like you've ripped out the voice modulator.
On my next one, I got a 6, a 5, and a 1, so that's 12 plus 2 is 14 again.
That's
But it's
another
not it's not a fantastic success this time. So, but it was a 6 on the Marvel die again, so that is 18, 20 points of damage. So 60 in total. And then he
Okay.
teleports away as part of the blink barrage.
You've done a huge hit to this guy. He is still up and fighting, but he's wounded and his energy is beginning to falter.
It's okay.
That-
Nightcrawler's getting a little tired. He's down to 20 focus in that, so he won't be doing a lot soon.
That brings us to Wolverine. What are you doing? The one you were on is now dead.
Yes. So she'll definitely, maybe as it's falling down, try to jump up towards the other one that Nightcrawler just did a bunch of damage to. And just like, probably she can't get up towards the head as quickly. So into the midsection, the torso. And she'd like to use combat trickery this time, once per battle, when the character is attacking a target of equivalent or higher rank. What rank is a sentinel?
Rank 3.
Excellent. I was hoping it would be it wouldn't be lower than me. Okay, then the character automatically rolls a 1 on their Marvel die, and that die cannot be affected by trouble. If the character is attacking multiple targets, I'm doing one sentinel, all the targets must make equal or high rank. Okay, so I'm just going to add combat trickery, and I am going to use my adamantium claws to try to take this out. So first I need to hit. Oh, right. It's a 6 on the Marvel die automatically for 11, 14.
14 hits.
14 hits. Okay, so then that is 6 times. Actually, because I'm using my claws, I do get +1 melee damage multiplier, which means it's a times 5. So 6 times 5 for 30 plus 6 for 36.
You got a 6 on your Marvel die, too?
Well, because I'm using combat trickery, which cost me 5 focus. It's an instant effect.
Makes it a 1. It makes the Marvel die a 1, but it's effectively a 6.
I'm burrowing into the torso of this sentinel, and just like I'm hoping that maybe I can also. I know that this is a jar of wasps inside, essentially. So I'm hoping to try to like block some of them from getting out with my body, but also take this sentinel down from the inside. If I can, if not, I'll just take the sentinel.
Let's go ahead and call it a resilience check on top of your attack here to try and contain them with your own body.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that.
these wasps that you had to push through the cloud of them that was surrounding you on the previous sentinel. You come up, you use your combat trickery, you start burrowing through.
And can I grab an edge from chat, please? I will re-roll that. There's a bit nicer. So that is a 12 on resilience is +3, so that is 15.
15 is a success. All right. You burrow your way through just like you said, and you hear that humming, that vibrating, building inside them, and that cloud begins moving towards you, but you are blocking the pathway that you created. And it seems that the opening, the jar, you can see there were doors in this sentinel's chest that were meant to open up, but you have taken out the power core, and those doors are now stuck. So the only way out for them is to go through you.
Right. Whoops. Well, here we are.
Which brings us to our next group of sentinels, which one of them we're going to say is beginning to charge up a beam towards Emma Frost.
Yak.
That's trip 4s. So that's a 12 plus 16 total, and that's going to be against your agility defense, Emma.
That's a 12.
12, okay. And I am also going to be spending a bit of focus here. I'm going to spend, let's say 40 focus. That sounds like a good, healthy amount of focus. To add plus 20 to my damage here. So I am doing 4. Yeah, it's the exact same thing, but ranged.
Wow.
24 plus 20. So 44 damage to you, Emma.
I have a
Just
-2 damage reduction.
That
when you
goes
ring
off the
crystal
multiplier.
Form, it goes off the multiplier?
It reduces the damage multiplier.
Okay,
But-
so let me redo my math here. That's times 3, 4 times 3, 12, plus 4, 16. That's 36 then.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then we
Got it.
have another sentinel that's going to be moving towards Wolverine and Nightcrawler here. And it is doing a ground shaking stomp, which means it can target both of you with this melee attack.
I will spend my last reaction of this round to blink away so that I'm
I
not
figured
within its
you would.
range.
Oh, that's such a horrible roll. Yeah, I don't get an edge on that. So that's just 5 plus 4, 9. I don't think that hits you, Laura, does it?
9, I'm looking at, because I use my melee defense score, against agility attacks as well. That is a defense score of 16, so no.
Okay. This was a melee attack anyways. So 16.
Sorry, I thought
Yeah.
it heard range.
No
Sorry,
worries.
my bad.
He was doing a stomp. You hear the servos moving, and he lands roughly on the earth and begins stomping towards you. Seeing that you're inside the chest of this other sentinel, Nightcrawler was on top of it. It begins to just stomp down, and all it does is manage to crush the body of the sentinel even more. That brings us to Emma Frost.
Okay, so question for you. Does it seem like all of these little things that are kind of moving all around, does it seem like they are connected? And the reason I'm asking is for information upload. Does it seem like if I can get something in one that I might be able to affect like all of the ones that came out of one of the sentinels?
You actually have an ability for tech, which I think it's Gearhead or something like that. Let's go ahead and use that. It's one of your traits, I believe. Gearhead.
I did not look those
have an-
up. I looked up powers.
You have an edge on logic checks to figure out how a machine works. So give me a logic check with an edge.
Sweet. And an edge means I re-roll one of them.
You re-roll
re-roll
whichever
below.
die you want.
I got a 1 on my Marvel die. So,
Nice.
Uh,
That happens a
That's
lot for
a-
you, doesn't it?
these are
It's because the X-Men gods are looking out for us.
I
weird how
think
she rolls
X-Men
12s
might
on a
love
different die.
Melissa, even though Melissa might not love the X-Men.
Ones.
so.
It's like she rolls really good on the die. She rolls the exact number she needs every time. Interesting.
How'd you get a nat 20? We're only rolling d6s.
These are all D6s. So that's 14, 23.
Okay. You're looking at these, and you see that they are flying as a swarm, but then you see as they dispersed, they do seem to have a sort of independent thought. While they can work together in tandem, it does not appear that they are being controlled by the same set of instructions or anything like that. They are their own units.
Damn. Okay. Then I don't think that would work. So there's still another sentinel.
There are still dozen sentinels. You've got like 6 large ones around your group right now, but there are still sentinels flying up ahead. There are sentinels landing in other parts of the mansion. Other X-Men are fighting the same battle that you are right now.
Okay. All right, then I will just try attempt. Now, can I do like, is that kind of like my action?
No, we can say you can still do an action.
Okay. Then I would like to attempt to do a shutdown powers on the next up sentinel,
Okay.
which I believe again is logic.
Logic. Yes. 15 or more focus. You pick another character and make an ego attack against them. On a success, you remove all of a target's powers. Wow.
So it's ego this time.
Okay.
Defensive 10 for these guys. They do not have a high ego. They lack personality.
So that is a 16 on the check.
That's a success then.
Okay, so I need to spend focus equal to their whatever their highest focus cost would be is what I have to spend. So it's a 15 minimum. But if their focus spend would be higher than 15, then that's what I have to spend.
15 is good. They have some that allow them to spend more, but the base is 5 or less. So you're good with 15.
Okay.
All right. Describe how you're shutting this one down.
So for flavor, I'll say that she, and I know she was probably doing this more with her head, but I'll just say she had kind of taken one of the little flying thingies, and was sort of examining it a bit as she was kind of figuring out if they kind of worked together or not. And so what I would like to think is that she just sort of kind of used that she just kind of threw it in the direction of kind of one of the sentinels, but then kind of used those kind of telepathic powers to just kind of like, as that kind of made contact with the sentinel, it just sort of crumbled its brain.
Yeah, you use the knowledge from the other one to control the one that you were holding, the small hornet-sized one. Despite its size, it's actually much more advanced than the large one in front of you. The technology is decades ahead of the other one. The circuitry is more advanced. The programming is more advanced, which makes the large one in front of you almost seem like a child in comparison, just incredibly easy to shut down, which you are able to do. He is still active, still moving, but it seems like you shut down his energy core. He can no longer move very quickly. He cannot do any sort of elemental blast from his hands anymore.
Nice.
Did you want to do anything else on your turn? I think that's it.
No, thank you.
You happy staying away from most of the sentinels, or do you want to go near your allies?
I'll stay away. That hurt. That
Yeah, I can't recommend getting close to where I'm at.
I'll keep my distance.
Okay. And that brings us to our last group of sentinels. And we'll start with the one that you shut down. He raises his hand up, and you see the energy flickering in his hand. The light bulb, the energy tries to build, but it's just short-circuited. Error. Malfunction with energy blast. Error. Target Emma Frost. And then it begins to move its hands towards its chest. And these doors that I talked about Wolverine finding, the doors don't open on their own because you shut down this energy. So he uses the last of his strength to just wrench them open slowly but surely. You hear the grinding. As soon as there's a couple inches, you see the swarm begin to pour out. By the time that he has the chest all the way open, the swarm's already gone and already moving towards the crowd of people and towards you. There is one more that is up and still capable of taking actions. So we are going to say that he is going after Colossus. He is
Bring it.
flying, and he will land heavily behind you. So you feel the shake of the sentinel in front of you collapse, and then you feel another shake in the energy, the heat coming off of the rockets, and it goes to smash you. Why am I rolling so badly?
I have all the dice karma tonight.
That's a 7 plus 4, 11 to your melee.
He just stands there as he punches and the fist crumbles. Oh, were you trying to harm me?
As that is not good enough.
That's exactly it. He has to kneel to even reach you with this punch, and you just stand there, not even really moving. The fist just kind of splits around you. The hand pulls back, and there's a Colossus-shaped imprint where the knuckles would be. And that is its turn. That brings us to you, Colossus.
Let me show you how this is done.
So, okay. I'm going to try to use his Unrelenting Smash ability.
So let me show you how this is done.
And so I will attempt to make a melee check against this one Are there others that are within like close range of me that I can like get to if I move? Just want to make sure. Like, I'm
There's
not
the
wasting
one
this
that
turn.
went after Nightcrawler and by Wolverine. I'd say that's close enough. Yeah, between the two of them, you could hit both of them.
You know,
Okay,
I
so-
think Colossus is probably strong enough to pick a sentinel up and throw it at another sentinel.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that, but technically, I think I have to grab him first
yeah,
to do
yeah.
quick toss.
So there's two thoughts I had. Unrelenting Smash allows me to just like kind of go around and knock things down, and then there's banging heads where I can just take two of them and bang their heads together. So Unrelenting Smash, what it would do is that I can hit, and if I'm success, if I can potentially hurt them or knock them down, depending on how well I do. But then I can move up to half my speed with anything left from my normal movement action. So could I get to like, are there enough around me that I could like get to another one and then get to another one? Because I can chain this pretty far.
Let's think about this. You had the other two were using ranged attacks. I would say that there's two dead near you and two alive near you. The other ones were using ranged attacks or shut down.
All right, then I won't use Unrelenting Smash. Then I will use
Banging Heads. So I will just grab its wrist, and I will just run up its arm, and then I will take on its shoulder, I will just take a big fist and punch its head directly into the head of the one standing next to it.
All right, roll the attack. Melee defense is 12.
All right. So if they have different defense scores, this is actually against both of them. So if one of them's higher than the other, then I have to basically.
They're the same in this, so we're good.
All right.
We're good to
So I definitely succeeded with a 22, but I am going to take an audience edge to try to get the Marvel fantastic success. And I really did. I honestly did.
Jeff,
And
I
it was
thought we
so
were in this
close.
together, man.
We were.
I thought it was you and me.
then
to
you
the end.
attacked me.
Join us, Jeff. Join us.
I didn't know you can just make things up. Well, no,
You can just do it.
I was this close. I was 6. So I have 6 Marvel 5. So close. So anyhow, that's going to be. So that's 16. Excuse me. That's 17 plus 7. That's 24 to hit. They're going to take a total of 42 points of damage. So each of them takes 42 points of damage. And since it was a fantastic success, this knocks both of them prone.
Yeah, describe the domino effect here. You ran up, you punched the one in the face, and then
What you do is you reach back really strong and you'll do this.
And so I want like the head to kind of crush a little bit, collapse, and then it just kind of goes hurtling forward and smashes into the next one. And then the two of them, like rock'em sock'em robots for a minute, kind of get tangled up and then collapse to the ground.
and these massive creatures, like you said, rock'em sock'em robots, they're caught up, they're trying to pull themselves away, and that actually causes more damage as they're ripping their gears, their armor locks on each other, and they both collapse, taking down several trees in the lawn as well with them.
And then Colossus will, as it's coming down, will leap off of it and then kind of smash into the ground and then look up
Superhero landing.
with a little bit of a smile, though he hides it quickly.
That's amazing. I love it. That brings us to Sentinels. The two big Sentinels in this group are down, but there is the Swarm. One of these Swarms, this is their first turn to act, and they begin dispersing, like I said, through the crowd. There is going to be one that attacks Nightcrawler. And this Swarm is dissipating, but it's actually just one Hornet that's coming at you, Nightcrawler. Just one, and it seems to try to go right towards your chest.
I don't have any reactions left, but it still has trouble from my blink barrage, and I'm going to spend a point of karma to give it double trouble. Reroll your two
All
highest
right.
dice.
I'm rolling 1s and 2s here. I don't know why you think that.
I got the
fuck.
karma. I might as well spend some of it.
I rolled
know, by the way.
665 with a Marvel success.
Oh boy.
Reroll that.
All right,
Reroll
reroll
those
two.
sixes.
Hey.
Anybody
keeping
who
the five.
melee attacks those prone ones, you get an automatic edge from that. Just so you know.
Nice.
That's
cool.
what prone is.
All right, so that ended up being 544, which is a 13 to hit.
Against my melee?
I'm sorry, 13 plus 4, so 17 to your melee.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. It's not going to be a ton of damage here. It's going to be 4 times 3, 12 plus 4 more, so 16 total damage.
Okay.
And here's the thing: as it goes towards your chest, it actually latches on, and you feel a sting. There's no actual stinger on this, but there's something that is slowly burrowing into you. It's not huge. It's not like it's getting under your skin, but it feels like a wasp sting. Like it hurts, and you feel it like attached to you in a way. Laura, you have this swarm coming at you as well. I'm going to give them an edge because you are kind of in an enclosed space here, and the same thing is happening to you.
All right, well, let's look at the karma. Thanks for the
All right,
idea,
so-
Aaron.
Making me re-roll my 5.
I am going to make you re-roll that. Yeah. We've got 3 karma.
All right.
Let's burn one of them.
2, 4, 2. That's 8 plus 4, 12 total against your melee.
No. That's 16.
All right. Describe how Wolverine is defending herself against this swarm of
So,
hornets.
She's
Sentinel hornets.
standing here, blocking this hole she's made into the torso of this sentinel, and she's just like remembering her past with all the training that she was forced to do, and is just almost dancing with it, in swinging her arms and legs around, just chopping into them as they try to get close to her.
And the humming just echoes in this small cavity, the metallic armor just causing the sound to reach a cacophony much louder than it would be in the open. And your claws are striking left and right. It's impossible to miss anything. You're deflecting them all as they're coming at you. That brings us to Nightcrawler.
So this thing on my chest, it's like attached.
It is attached, yes. You're not grappled. There's no like restriction of movement, but it seems to be connected to you.
Can I use teleport object to teleport it away from me?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and treat this like a teleport other would be. I know you don't have that power, but it is basically an object. It's small enough. So let's go ahead and say that it would be
It's an ego check against their vigilance defense then.
yes. I think that sounds good.
Okay.
How about you?
So, I'm all for it. Now, before, as a free action, I'm going to spend a second point of karma to recover some focus. So I need to make a resilience check. A vigilance check against TN10. Vigilance is +2. Okay, that's not great. 6. I got a 14 though in total. On a success, multiply your Marvel dice by your rank. So that's 4 times 3. So I got 12 focus back.
All right.
So that helps a little bit. So then with teleport other, it costs 15 focus. So that's why I kind of needed to do that. Okay, and it is against their vigilance.
Vigilance is 13 on this guy.
13 ego check. It's +3. Just make sure there's nothing else weird with that. Nope. Okay, straight up. 5, 5, 5, 15, 17, 18. 18.
That's a hit. Where are you teleporting it to?
I am teleporting it. Where am I teleporting it to? Into the school's boiler. Don't know if it'll kill it, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, and it bamfs away. You know that it went to the boiler. You feel very confident about where it is. You don't necessarily know the result of that. But as you look down, you actually see that there's a little glowing light in your chest, like a little LED that is just flickering that was left behind.
I think very hard towards Emma. Emma, Miss Frost, they are attacking us. Beware of the swarms. I don't know if she's got a telepathic link up to us or not, but I'm hoping she does.
I think it'd be fair to say that she does. You guys are in combat together. She would have been getting that ready.
I'll spend the focus on whatever the telepathic network cost is. It's
Okay.
5 focus. We'll say I did it.
All right. Wolverine.
That's my
sorry, go
reaction. That's one of my
That's a
three
reaction to
reactions.
teleport. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's either a standard or a reaction, so I'm going to use it as a reaction since I've got 3 of them. And
Okay.
so for my move action, I'm going to do the blink barrage again and blink up onto another sentinel. And then for my action, use the chain strike again to try to do some damage to one of these.
And this one is prone. Unless you want to go towards one of the standing ones. If you go towards the prone one, you get the edge from Colossus.
I'll go with the prone one. And I get 2 edges because I also get an edge on the chain strike. Okay, so while I've got 2 3s, so I'll re-roll those. Nice. Okay, I got a 6 on the a 1 on the Marvel dice. So that's 14, 16 in total.
Against their melee, that is a success.
Okay, so that is going to be 6 times 3, 18, 20 points of damage, and I get to attack again.
20. All right.
And still with the 2 edges, I will re-roll my Marvel die. I will re-roll my Marvel die again. It did not really help, but I was going for the big 1 because I had 2 6s. So I was like, I could get the ultimate fantastic success, but I did not. So 12 and 4, 16, 18 to hit.
That's a hit. What's your damage?
So 4 times 3 is 12, 14 points of damage.
What was that? 14?
14.
All right.
And then, of course, he teleports away as part of the blink barrage.
This thing collapsed. There are branches and trees of the tree that are like wrapped around it, and it's struggling to get up. And as it's moving, Nightcrawler is just bamfing all over, just teleporting from one weak point to another, ripping out cords, pulling off armor plates, doing all sorts of damage, but it is still struggling. That brings us to Wolverine.
With the setup of her starting to hyper focus in and just concentrate on the whirling combat, she's going to apply Whirling Frenzy, which the character makes an agility check and compares it against the agility defense of every enemy within reach, which means those thousands of tiny sentinels should all be within reach.
They are.
Rolling all of this, I'm about to try to take out a swarm by myself. If an attack is successful, the enemy takes half regular damage. On a fantastic success, the enemy takes full damage and suffers the weapon's special effect, which means I'm also going to grab an edge from the audience. Thanks, audience.
All right. You said against their agility, correct? That's 15.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So that is a 6 on the Marvel dice, which is not what I wanted, but it's still good. It's just not a fantastic success. And then it is 2, so that is a 10 plus agility for 13, which I don't believe hits, unfortunately.
Nope, needed a 15.
Is there anything can I spend a karma now to reroll, or do I have to declare that beforehand?
It says you can spend karma at any time.
Excellent.
Which
But
one are
only
you
one-
attacking, by the way?
All
the
of
swarm
ones
that's
that
in
was-
the,
all of the
in the
swarm.
chest, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Like 1,000 sentinel bugs that are trapped in here with me. Sorry, Aaron, what were you saying about the rule?
You can spend 1 karma at any time, but you can only spend 1 karma per check.
Okay, then
And
I will.
you know what? Before you do that, Laura, I should have given you an edge on this because there's so many of them. So go ahead and take that edge before you decide to roll karma.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so there we go. That's a 12. And what I also forgot is that I am using my claws, which is, oh no, that's just +1. Okay, I still need to spend the karma because I have a 12, which is 1 below what I need. So 1 karma, there we go. Roll better than a 2. I got a 3, which just makes it. I got a 13. I did it. Finally. It just took me
13
rolling
plus-
everything.
Yay.
What's your total?
Oh, sorry, 13. Yes, plus 3 for 16.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hit. What did you say your ability did again? Just regular damage or
Half
Yes, so it will do half,
Half
damage,
damage.
because I didn't get a successful, a fantastic success.
Okay.
So the marvel is a 6, which is 6 times 4 for 18, plus 6 for 24, divided in half for 12.
Okay, so 12 total damage.
Mhm.
And I'm playing the swarm as if they're a single unit,
Mhm.
but I do think you should get something for that whirlwind. So I'm going to times 4 it.
Thank you. Yes, that was. I was like, nobody took an energy blast character. We don't have an AOE. What are we gonna do?
So this swarm, they're still charging at you, and your claws are working furiously. You're cycling through, charging through them. They're swarmed around you at this point. They still haven't entirely gotten out, but you can't stop them all. Most of them are focused on you at this point, and you do see a couple of these LEDs that have tagged onto you as well. But for the most part, you are just slicing through them. There's still a lot left, but you've carved through so many of them. All right. That brings us to the sentinels that are prone. I'm sorry, one that's prone, and then one that is doing a ranged attack here. So the one that's prone is going to try to stand up. That's going to be using most of its movement, I believe.
It uses 1 space of movement to stand up.
Okay. It puts one of its arms down as it rotates and uses that blaster as a repulsor to just push its body up. And then Nightcrawler, you teleported away, but you'd still be within melee range, or are you way out?
Oh God!
How does that work?
No. You teleport. So three squares away. So and behind it. So that would be 15. They don't really. They're kind of ambiguous on squares, but it depends on what their reach is.
They do have larger reach because they're so big, but we're going to go with it. And Colossus is right there. So I think it makes sense for him to go for Colossus, who just knocked him over. So I'm going to attempt to smash Colossus here.
Come on, you can do it. I have faith in you.
Is 14 melee.
I'm sorry, you have failed again. You should go back to school. Crunch. It's like grab it by the finger and just squeeze the finger.
It used the repulsor to push itself up, and it tried to use the other arm to go towards Colossus, who grabs it by the finger, and it crushes. You hear the metallic crunch of like a can. Then it just gets thrown back away by Colossus, and it begins to fall backwards again.
Do you remember the age-old question? What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? We still do not know the answer because you have been stopped.
As you're saying that, this other sentinel has picked up an SUV and is throwing it at you, Colossus.
Yeah, that's fair.
Rules.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, dokie.
Agility attack here.
Okay.
That is a fantastic success. Let me make sure I hit you first, though.
Jeff, remember you have karma to make him reroll.
Yeah, I think I will actually use that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
Kipser, don't be a jerk.
Thank you, Laura. You are an excellent friend. Good looking out.
Thanks for
I'll
the
go ahead and
basketball
spend it.
special.
You got it.
All right, that's 14 to your agility.
That will hit.
Okay, that makes me feel better. It's not
that will
fantastic
hit.
anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to try to punch me, man. Like, what's...
All right. So then the damage on that is going to be 15 plus 4. So that's going to be 19 damage as this SUV strikes into
I
you.
have 4 damage reduction.
So you gotta take that off the multiplier.
So take that off multiplier, please.
Guys, you're killing me.
Mean.
You're killing me.
No, we are. That is the point.
So what's 3 times
Yeah.
1, guys? I think that's
3 times
3.
1 is
Am I
3.
doing my math right? Yeah. Okay, so
maybe
3 plus
3.
4, 7 damage.
So the SUV hits me. And like I just kind of knock it down, and then I look. I'm like, oh, I almost broke a nail. Ugh.
I love Colossus.
I really do.
Yeah.
He's super fun. He's
I'm
simple,
gonna go,
straightforward, but it's so fun. Oh my god.
I know. I mean, I'm on vacation at the moment, so Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2,
Right.
Deadpool 2 are tomorrow's viewing during the day.
Honestly, they might be for me
Hey.
too. This has been a lot of
Colossus
fun.
is so fun. I'm really enjoying Colossus.
Yeah, so both of these sentinels have been negated by Colossus here. Emma Frost, it's your turn. One of these sentinels is still shut down. It has not taken its turn yet.
Okay, so by way of apology, I made you redo math earlier when I wasn't supposed to, because the -2 damage modifier is only supposed to be when Emma goes into her crystalline form. So I should have taken even more than 36 damage earlier.
I actually knew it was
yeah,
when you were in your crystal
hurt.
form. I just assumed you were, because you get to choose when you're in it and not.
I hadn't actually gone into it yet, but I will now.
Okay, so Emma
Um,
Frost, the skin ripples with diamonds. She starts gleaming in this bright sunlight. What are you doing now?
So now I'm just gonna try to do a little bit of what Wolverine did earlier and see if I can just sort of kind of do a jump and kind of take one of these out at its core and keep like kind of smush the doors together so that they can't open up so that all of the other things can't get out from another one.
Okay. So you have two options here that have not released their swarm. There's the one that has not been hit and just threw an SUV at Colossus. And then there's the one that's been pummeled by Colossus and Nightcrawler that also has not released its swarm. It's currently prone on the ground.
I mean, the more fun one sounds like the first one.
Okay. So the one that has not been hit just threw an SUV, so it's distracted. And you are...
Yes.
go ahead and make your attack then.
SUVs at my friend. So rude. All right, so this is melee. This is not really what I'm particularly good at. So the no. Okay, so spending karma will allow me to reroll everything.
Just one die.
Just one. But I can spend
But
an
you get to
audience
choose which die.
reroll the karma.
You could use the audience to get an edge, which is just a re-roll as well. The karma is like an instantaneous, so you could do it again if you needed to.
Gosh darn it. See, on
Now
the
you
dice that I
can use
didn't
your karma
want-
to re-roll it from the audience.
You burned all your luck, didn't you? That's what you get.
Yeah, I did. Because I had a 1 and I spent the karma to reroll it and still got a 1. So now I'm gonna
It's the audience edge now.
got it. Yeah. That was yep. That's what happens.
That's why we appreciate
It's-
people that let us do
So
that.
now I rerolled the
Oh no.
Marvel dice and got a 6. 10.
It's not bad, though.
12.
12 against the melee is a success. Just you
Hey.
needed exactly 12.
Wow.
You got there. It took you a while, but you got there.
Good gracious.
Mean.
Now that's a 4 on the Marvel die with a 6 multiplier plus 2. 26?
Yeah, 26. All right, so this one had not been hit yet. It landed on the ground to throw this SUV, and as its arm was still outreached, Emma Frost uses that as like a ramp to run up and to jump onto the chest of this thing where you see the doors, and you are doing everything you can just to jam these hinges and break them and bust them so that they cannot open on their own to keep that swarm contained. 26
Yes,
damage. That's a
I
good
do.
hit, but it's still going. That's your move, your action. You good?
Yep.
I believe that the shutdown powers that lasts, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't.
Concentration, I think.
But I know it is not usable once I'm in crystal form. So telepathy and power control powers can't be used when in crystalline form.
But it doesn't say you can't hold concentration when in crystal form.
Oh,
So I think using it first and then holding the concentration, that sounds fine to me. We can look into it later, but
okay.
you're only playing Emma Frost this session. I say we go with it. So we'll say you're maintaining concentration on that guy. However, the swarm itself is still moving freely. And Emma, you're not near the swarm, but you can still see the effects of it. It is going through, and lots of these students, some of the faculty, none of the non-mutants are being attacked by them, but they all have these LEDs. And as you're punching and wrenching at the gears of these doors in front of you, the Sentinel begins to turn and spin to try and get you off of it with its momentum. You're holding on tight. And you see that a couple of these students, these mutants that you've known, you've taught, the ones that have been tagged begin to disappear. They teleport away just like the Sentinels teleported in. It's the exact opposite technology. It starts slowly at first with one or two, and then you see more and more begin to disappear as you're fighting. And I'm going to be able to get one attack on you, the one that's that you're currently on. It is going to attempt to clobber you. It's not actually grappled, so we're not going to use that. We're just going flavor. That's a 3, a 2, and a 1. So 10 to hit you melee.
No.
Okay, so it's swaying and it's like swatting at you, but with your diamond skin, you just can't be pulled off right now. That is the turn of the Sentinels there. We said you have a mind link, Emma. Would you want to tell your allies what you just saw?
Yeah, absolutely. So like they're disappearing. There's anybody with the tag, the students too.
Wolverine will look at her multiple tags.
That brings us to Colossus.
Colossus will completely misunderstand what you're saying. Yes, we are disappearing them quite good.
And he's going to. How many are near me? How many of the big
2.
sentinels?
The ones that you dominoed are near you. You know what? The one that threw an SUV would have moved towards you as well. So we can say 3.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to use my unrelenting smash then.
So I make a melee check and I compare it against the melee defense of every enemy within my reach. So would they be in? So is this? Can I use this?
Let's say they are. It's good. You're going to be jumping from one to the other.
Okay, so any enemy that the attack succeeds against takes half regular damage. On a fantastic success, those enemies take full regular damage and are knocked prone. Then there's other things I can do. So we'll wait. We'll roll the dice.
Yeah, I'm just having so much fun right now with these.
Okay, I swear to God, man, I know we were
He
like
gets to do his
this.
Russian accent. He
But
gets to cheat on the dice. He gets to kill all the
I
Sentinels. What more does he
apologize.
want?
I apologize. So that's a 20, and I do have, and I do. It would be fantastic.
That's very much a hit.
Okay, so if that's the case, on a fantastic success, so any enemy the attack succeeds against takes half regular damage, but on a fantastic success, those enemies take full regular damage and are knocked prone. So
All right.
you're going to take 42 points of damage.
To all 3 of them. Got it.
Then the character so that cost me 15 focus. Then the character may pay 15 more focus, which I will, to do the same thing again, before which they can move. And I can keep doing this until I run out of speed or focus. Oh no, I can only target them once per round. Okay, never mind. Each target can be affected by this attack by this character only once per round.
All right, so you're still killing the one that Nightcrawler is on. You're doing severe damage to the first one that you punched in the face, and you're doing a good amount of damage to the one that Emma Frost is currently grappled to. So describe this for us.
Okay, so like we're disappearing.
So at a certain point, like he thinks he's laughing in his mind, and then he looks over and he just sees one of the students like
Oh, we must take these out more quickly then. Leave the children alone. Boom, boom.
And he just kind of starts going into almost a rage as he starts just smash, 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 and that's all he's doing. It's just kind of this unrelenting smash, you might call it, Stephen.
You might call it
Colossus
that.
smash. It's clobbering time.
It is now clobbering time.
Wolverine, you are being targeted by the swarm of sentinels, and they are changing tactics on you. Instead of slamming at you, trying to sting you, they are moving back and they are shooting tiny little elemental blasts, a smaller version of their large counterparts. These energy beams are coming at you. That is a 16 to hit agility, but I go against your melee there. So what's your melee?
My melee is 16, but you know what, Stephen? I have
What's
one
that?
more
You gonna give me
karma
trouble?
left. I can use my very
I see
last
how it is.
karma.
Oh, it's still a 16. I had a 5, rolled a 5.
All
Suck
right,
it,
all
karma.
right. You do still take any damage, multiply for an attack against the characters. Nope, not focus. Never mind. You're good. Yep, go for it. Give me it.
Okay.
I
And
have
I'm going to
one-
go ahead and spend
Yep.
some focus on this. We said 40 last time. These guys aren't going to last long, so I'm going to say let's spend 60 focus. That sounds good.
It's just because you haven't hit anyone all game.
That's exactly why. That is literally why.
I know.
Ow.
I got it.
All right. So that is 4 times 5, 20 plus 4. So 24 plus 30. That's 54 HP.
Ouch. Not down though, because I do have 90. But that did hurt. I would like
So-
that not to happen again.
Collectively, the swarm begins to pull back, learning your tactics, learning that your claws are too strong for them, and they start striking from range. And these tiny little blasts, the first one doesn't really hurt, but then the next one comes in, and the next one, and the next one, and there's so many of them that they begin to open up these wounds in your skin. And Wolverine, your skin is healing back almost as fast as they come in, but it doesn't matter. There's just so many of them. You just cannot keep up. And that brings us to Nightcrawler. The
Jim
one you just
try to-
hit is down. There is one that is not attached to Emma that is very, very injured, and the one that Emma is connected with is also very injured, but not as much.
All three that I hit are prone too, by the way.
I will
They're all
the one that Emma is trying to keep down. I will try to tear out the wiring that will hopefully shut it down so it can't open. Its chest cavity that she's keeping shut. So I will once again, as my move action, I will initiate my blink barrage, and I start blinking around this. Bam, 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 grabbing wires, tearing them out. So, but before I do any of that, I will spend my third karma point to try to get some focus back. And that's against my vigilance. Oh, that's better. That's better. That's 16, 6 times 3, 18 back. Okay, so that's that and that. And then I will, once again, I'm using the chain strike, getting in there, tearing the wires out as I teleport around this thing.
Beautiful.
And I've got edge, right, because it's prone. And I've got edge
Yep,
for
you
chain
got an edge.
strike. So I got to reroll 2. I got a 1 on the Marvel dice. So I'm gonna
And you're looking
reroll.
for 12s.
I got a 6, a 5, and a 1 on my Marvel dice. So close, but I'm going to go with it. So that's 12, 17, 19. So that's a fantastic success.
So you're doubling it.
Doubling it. And that was a 6 times 3, 18, 20, 40 points of damage.
Go ahead and describe how you're taking this thing out.
So it's just what he says. So he bamfs in, he grabs some wires, he teleports away, tearing him out over and over again as he strikes the vulnerable point, shutting it down.
And
And then he teleports further, and then he uses his move action to teleport back his furthest distance away from the Sentinels so he can re-engage the battlefield.
Perfect. Emma, you have successfully contained the swarm inside. You can feel the buzzing, and they start bouncing against the metal in the Sentinel. You can feel the vibrations as you're holding the doors. And then Nightcrawler, working with you as a team, begins bamfing around, pulling out the wires, and you feel the energy core of this Sentinel just begin to shut down. And it was already prone, but it was still struggling to get up until the energy just gives way, and it just freezes in this like half-risen position. Wolverine, that brings us to you. You have a swarm of Sentinels shooting at you right now. You can still get to them within melee, but for the most part, they're trying to range attack you.
Well, she is going to push forward into them. She is going to continue her whirling frenzy for another 5 focus. And which means I'll be attacking the agility of 16, I believe. And she is just going to like come at them yelling, the children, the mutant population were not tools for your machinations. And she's going to try to... that is a 656, which would be a 1217 plus agility for 20.
Was it a 5 on the Marvel die?
Yeah, the 5 was on the Marvel die, yes.
Okay. How much was that? I'm sorry.
To hit, it was a dirty 20. Does that hit you?
20 hits, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let me then do the 5. I actually keep forgetting that my claws do a +1 on the melee damage, so it's 5 times 5 for 25 plus 6 for 31. And then they would take half of that, which is, let's round down to 15.
All right, go ahead and describe how you're taking out the swarm.
She's just screaming and whirling all around, trying to just do as best she can to protect anybody else that's outside of this container.
And they begin falling. Some of them still get past you, but for the most part, you are standing over a pile of these broken Sentinels inside a broken Sentinel. And something seems to switch as you take out most of the swarm. There's some sort of combat protocol that is transmitted between them all as the Sentinels, they send out a signal to retreat. You see that the lights change, their tactics begin to change. There are several broken Sentinels surrounding you, but many more across the field as other X-Men have defeated Sentinels as well. You catch a breather, you start looking around. Emma, you start using your telepathy to make a head count of who's missing, and it's not good. Not only do you not sense Professor Xavier, you sense that there are several X-Men missing and even more students. At least 7 students are missing. We now cut to the same school, the same field on a bright sunny day. We're looking at the grassy field. There's no tents. There's no chairs lined in rows. There's no stage. Just quiet peacefulness. And then, bamf, an unconscious student teleports in onto the lawn. And then another one, and another one, and another one. We pull back, and we see that this same school is now surrounded by Sentinels. There are 4 Sentinels, each with their arms held outright with the energy charged and ready to shoot at the school. We see the sign for this school now says Stryker's Institution for the Genetically Disabled. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Yeah, fantastic. Stryker's such a bastard.
Yeah.
Stryker,
I
like
hope you guys had fun.
Person
that was a fun combat. Yeah, you know.
I'm kidding. I was just.
You're
just wanted one
kidding.
more troll.
I'm not kidding.
more
I'm
troll.
just
You
saying
know who
things in my
Stryker
head.
is.
William Stryker.
He's in like 5 of the movies, but it's played by a different person every time. So,
Yeah. Oh,
all right.
Yeah. That was a lot of
Uh,
fun, Steven. A lot of fun.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun. You guys were awesome in your roles. Nightcrawler, bamfing everywhere. Wolverine with the claws. Emma, you did great with the telepathy. Colossus, you were okay.
Oh, no.
MVP.
I think you like
He was
me
MVP.
best, but you don't want to say so. That's what I think.
I really did, but you shut me down and it hurt so much.
You did 7 total damage to me. I have like
Awful.
120. It's nothing.
With an SUV.
All right.
mean-
Aaron, I know that you might have to go, so let's do some shout outs. What do you got going on at Garblag?
Let's see at Garblag tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be back with Warhammer Fantasy. With Warhammer 40K, Death Watch, Space Marines. Dan's running it. Then on Thursday, I believe we'll still be back with Lewis at the same time, running the One Ring and the Ballads of the Barding. Then next Tuesday, I believe Millie will be back with Coriolis. If not, they'll probably be streaming some Baldur's Gate 3.
Awesome. Jeff, what do we got going on here with Lollygaggers? We got a lot of new stuff happening.
Yeah,
don't
buddy,
we?
it's been crazy the past couple of weeks, but we are getting into our rhythm. Thursday, new game, Werewolf. Everybody but Steven on the screen right now is in that one. We did our session 0 last week, so we're starting up proper with our first real session. Friday, we'll be back to Delta Green. Steven and Melissa will join for that. Saturday, we'll be doing One Ring. We have max 3 episodes left, so the big finale is coming. Then this coming Monday, Monster of the Week, we did our session 0 already, so first real proper session for that. You can also check out the YouTube page where we have plenty of other things, including some of our other new games. Fragged Empire, we just premiered last night. Space Sci-Fi, so come hang out or go catch that on YouTube tomorrow, and plenty of other games as well, including Conan, which will be coming to a close soon as well, that Aaron runs, and all of the great games, Haunted West and Forbidden Lands, that Steven's already run already. But I think that's it, man.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Go ahead and leave some comments telling me all the Marvel facts that I messed up or
Oh, I
missed
will.
out
Don't worry.
on the YouTube.
I've already started the essay.
Yeah. Kipser will be our official respondent on those.
What's a Sentinel?
Oh no.
I called it
I
a
love
Senate
this
by
role.
accident earlier.
Steven,
I
I
heard
see
that.
why you
Star
enjoy
Wars.
being a troll. This is kind of fun.
It really is,
enjoyable.
isn't it?
Anyway,
As
as
long
long as
as-
a raid. Yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
I was going to say, as long as you don't throw Nimrod at us, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, definitely not on this.
Don't give them ideas.
All right. I just started up a raid to Perception Studio. Go ahead and follow that raid. If you haven't followed our channel, please do. If you haven't subscribed over at YouTube, Adventures in Lollygagging, please do that as well. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you later this week.